dog fight is for... Oh, it's just like... Alright, so Melissa, Kelly, it's good to have you back.
Thank you.
Last time we kind of talked about, each of your stories, and, Melissa kind of talked about how she had a lot of time to spend with this dog that you guys have, and Kelly talked about how you bought this dog and you guys kind of shared custody of it, and you're both moving, and your main priorities are that you really want to make sure this dog is well taken care of. This dog that you both love, that you both equally also would like to keep the dog for yourselves. And so we kind of took some time to think about some solutions for this problem, and we just agreed that we were going to start with Kelly. And Kelly, what are some solutions that you have come up with for this?
Well, I've been thinking a lot since our last session about potential solutions, and obviously I would still like to keep the dog. That's still kind of where I'm at. But I thought, I have a cousin that we've let babysit Cha-Cha a few times, and she's done a really good job. And I was thinking that when I get too busy or too stressed out with work and school, since I do have a lot on my plate, I can get my cousin Barbara to come and help with the dog, and she could kind of just assist me when I'm too busy. So she could walk the dog, she could play with it outside, just be there kind of when I'm not to play with the dog. Because I don't want to see the dog given up to someone, who we don't know, who's a stranger. I think Melissa and I's number one priority is to make sure that the dog is cared for. And it, if it's not with either of us, it's with someone that we care about. And, I feel like my cousin will be a big help in helping make sure that the dog's needs are met. And if I can't have, the dog full time, I think my cousin would be a great person to help out with that. And Melissa knows my cousin too, so we both have a relationship where we could, still work on that, and the dog will be getting cared for. So.
Okay. So sounds like you've come up with a solution for what you really want and what your priorities are, as well as addressing the concerns that Melissa brought up about you possibly not having a lot of time for the dog. So Melissa, what are some solutions that you've come up with?
Well, there's really only two solutions, and one of those would be me owning the dog, having full custody, or giving the dog away, because obviously, I don't know, it makes me nervous thinking about Kelly having the dog full time, because as she mentioned, she never has time to spend with the dog, and the dog has a lot of needs. Cha-Cha is very big. Cha-Cha needs a lot of time outside and needs to exercise, and I take Cha-Cha on hikes, and I take him on walks.
Yeah.
And I have a really close relationship with Cha-Cha, and I just think it would be really detrimental for Cha-Cha to have such a sudden change, to suddenly be with a different owner, to be with a different person. Kelly is practically a stranger to Cha-Cha because Kelly's never home. And so I think personally, if we're really trying to do what's best for the dog should stay with me. And so those are the only two options I see right now.
Okay, so you just brought some solutions to this. One being that Kelly could keep the dog and could have her cousin help her out with her time management and keeping with the dog and making sure the dog's needs are met and it's well taken care of. And Melissa brought her solution of her keeping the dog because she feels she has a really close relationship with the dog, and also again your priorities of making sure the dog's well taken care of, and that the dog's well taken care of. And also the solution of giving the dog away, which neither of you seemed excited about because of your priority of knowing whether that dog's taken care of or not. So let's explore these options a little bit. Melissa, what would it look like if Kelly's cousin came and played with that dog? How does that address that issue?
I like Kelly's cousin a lot. We're good friends. We know each other she's taken care of Cha-Cha in the past,
Okay.
and so I know that she's trustworthy. Honestly, I don't even see the point of having Kelly in the picture because she doesn't even see the dog because she works at school so much. So honestly, the cousin should just take the dog. Honestly, I think she would be a really good candidate if we were to give the dog away because, like you said, it's really important that she go to someone that we know and can trust. And honestly, that would be a better option than Kelly having the dog.
Okay, so another possible solution up on the board. Clyde, what's it look like to you if your cousin has ownership of this dog? It sounds like she has a good relationship with the dog.
She does. To just address some of the things Melissa was talking about, I resent the fact that she says I don't have a good relationship with Cha-Cha. I'm the one that bought Cha-Cha, so
Just because you bought Cha-Cha doesn't mean that Cha-Cha likes you or
Okay, well, it's not your turn, so let me finish.
Well, I'm gonna interrupt you for
Stop
just
crying.
I'm really emotional over this right now.
Well, I'm gonna interrupt you for just a second and kind of refocus this on Kelly. What would it look like to you though if your cousin had custody of this dog?
I think my cousin would be a good candidate to, if I couldn't have the dog full custody, then I think my cousin would do a good job of taking care of Cha-Cha. She's babysat for a few times, and so I think that my cousin would meet all those needs that Melissa is concerned about that I don't meet, like going outside with the dog, which I do occasionally. So, but I think my cousin would be a really good candidate. It's both someone we know and we trust, and our dog is familiar with my cousin, so that's another plus. So I could see that as being a viable option.
Okay. So come up with this possible solution to add to your board. It's a solution that both of you have expressed an interest in. What would it take to make that work? What would it take to make that work for you?
I think to make it work, we would have to meet with my cousin, all of us together, to make sure we're on the same page, and I guess kind of work out a schedule where we could come meet with Cha-Cha, and spend time with her, one-on-one, and just so that we know when each other is coming to see the dog and whatnot, and just making sure that my cousin knows all of Cha-Cha's needs, and she is already familiar with that, so I don't think that will be a huge problem. I guess the biggest thing was making sure that we come up with a schedule as to where we can both meet with Cha-Cha.
Okay. Melissa, what do you think about that? Is that a realistic solution for you?
I think so. I think that there needs to be a lot of respect for the schedule though, because I'm afraid of Kelly taking advantage of the fact that our dog is going to her cousin whom she sees on a pretty consistent basis. So I'm afraid that she would have more time with the dog than I would just because she happens to be family. So for me, it's going to take everyone being willing to be very strict about the schedule and sticking with it and not getting an unfair advantage.
Okay. Kelly, we're talking about, fairness and time with the dog.
Mm-hmm.
What could be done to address that? How could you guys work together to make that an equal thing?
Well, like I've already said, I work a lot, I go to school, so I don't really have that much free time during the week. So I would most likely be seeing Cha-Cha on the weekend. So I think just to make it fair is we need to have it written down. We all have a copy of the schedule that we abide by. I will see my cousin occasionally just because she's my cousin, and the dog will be there. So I don't know how much can be done about that, but like I said, I don't have a lot of free time anyway, so I don't see that being a huge problem. I know Melissa's concerned about fairness, so I think as long as we are clear on who's going to see her when, and we respect that, then I think it'll be fine. And I know Melissa's busy too, so I don't really see there being a problem of one of us getting too much time either way. So I think just making sure that we stick to the schedule as best as possible, and I know I will. I don't know about Melissa, but I will. So I guess that's the best we can do is just kind of go through a trial run and make sure, we get all the kinks worked out.
Okay, so Kelly's proposing kind of a trial run with the schedule to see about its flexibility, to see about how it can be balanced out better. What do you think about that?
It's definitely gonna have to be a trial run because, Nikki, Kelly can come across as very professional and like she's gonna do what she says, but the Kelly I know of late has not been as trustworthy. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
So I don't know, it makes me really nervous, and I guess bottom line, this has to be seen as a trial run. Like nothing about this can be set in stone because I'm a little nervous going into it. Like I said, with her relationship with the potential new dog owner, there needs to be, like I said, a lot of respect, and there needs to be a lot of communication, because like I said, it makes me nervous, but I can at least commit to a trial run of this.
And I hear you be really excited about Kelly's cousin and seeming really trustworthy of her. Is that true?
Yes. It's just a little inconvenient that she's related to Kelly.
Okay. But you also feel like you have an established relationship with this person as well.
I do, but it's not the same,
Okay, I understand that.
because I'm not family.
Do you feel that she would be committed to sticking to a schedule with you too?
I think so. From what I know about Barbara, she has shown herself to be very trustworthy and mature, unlike Kelly. So my hope is that she will be able to help us in our situation, because she, like I said, has shown herself to be very capable and trustworthy in the past.
Okay. So, aside from Kelly has agreed to a trial run. Melissa has agreed to a trial run. I'm sorry. What do you think about a trial run, Kelly?
I think that would be okay to ease Melissa's nerves, because she's always nervous about whatever I plan or propose to do. I think to make her feel more comfortable with this plan, that a trial run would be beneficial. I can see that. We don't have to, say this is going to be forever. We can see how it goes. I know my cousin will be willing to work with us because she has more free time than both of us. So she is a very flexible person, so I think we can, work it out as to where Melissa doesn't have to worry so much about everything, and we can just focus on Cha-Cha's needs, because that's what we're here for. And, so I'm okay with the trial run.
Okay, so Kelly's okay with the trial run. And you're okay with the trial run?
Yes.
Is it something that you both think that you can attempt and try and be in a room with the cousin and come to an agreement on with her?
For the sake of Cha-Cha. Yes.
I agree. Yes.
I'm so much.
And you think that, during the session you guys can uphold, the same kind of standards you'd have in this kind of conversation, where putting your priorities up there, finding a solution that works best for this dog that you both care about, and, not interrupting, avoiding the name calling, is that something that you guys
Do you hear
can
her?
agree
I don't know
Do you hear
how
her
well
avoiding the
Kelly
name
will
calling?
be able to do that. I will, Nikki.
I definitely will, for sure.
It seems like still a lot of tension, I see. A lot of
Yes.
stress and tension with that.
Yes.
But both still feeling like you guys want to do something and try something for the sake of the dog that you care about.
Yes, for the sake of Cha-Cha.
And is that something that you can, have a trial run and abide by the standards of it?
I think so.
Yes.
I'm gonna make a suggestion. For your trial run, like how we do in our sessions, where you stop and you write down possible complications or concerns rather than just addressing them immediately, to try and let the trial run take its course and kind of work out its kinks in its own way. And then at the end of the set period for a trial run of this, if it works out with the cousin agreeing to this, of course, to then bring those concerns up and address them, to let it have the time for its trial run instead of interrupting the trial run itself. Just kind of a bigger version of what we do in here when conversing.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
So, have you guys agreed upon that that's what you want to try?
Yes.
Yes.
I think that that's a really good solution that you guys have come up with. I think it's a neat idea. I think that, there are some possible kinks, but I feel like you guys could definitely work them out because you've really upheld the priority of putting the needs of your dogs first, and that makes you guys both really good pet owners and really responsible for a life. And I think that if you guys keep that in mind, there can definitely be a success in this. And I really appreciate your effort in coming here and continuing to work for that and continuing to come up with new points for solutions. So thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Nikki.